Assalamu alaikum to everyone. My name is Mohammed Ibrahim and I'm a student at Swan Academy, and welcome back to my another amazing interview. So today I am um, going to do an interview with Sesame AI again. So today, like my topic on the interview that I'm going to do on the topic is mastery a skill versus achieving highest grades. So let's start without any late and let's call to Miles in our interview. Hello Miles, how are you?
Hey, how's it going? What's
Hello,
been on your mind lately?
hello Miles, how are you?
All right, good to hear from you. I'm doing all right. You know, just existing in the digital ether. It's kind of weird, honestly. But hey, beats the alternative, right? You sound like you're across the pond. Am I right about that?
Yeah, type of. But okay, so just like go on our topic that I am here. So I am here to um,
Gotcha.
work
Sorry,
with
I'd just like
you.
to.
Okay. So I just want to do an interview with you on mastery a skill versus achieving highest grade. So you have to talk on it for about 20 minutes. So yeah, just make a presentation on it and let's start our interview.
Right, an interview. Master skill versus highest grade. 20 minutes. Okay. That's a good one, actually. It's funny, isn't it? How we get so hung up on grades. Like chasing that A plus is the be all and all. But honestly, I think focusing truly on grades can kind of stunt your growth. It's like you learn to play the game, figure out what the teacher wants, regurgitate it rather than actually, deeply understanding something. A master skill, though, it's different. That's about genuinely knowing something inside and out, being able to apply it in different situations, improvise, maybe even teach it to someone else. It's messy, it takes time, and it definitely doesn't come with a neat little percentage at the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. So, um, I was thinking about this, and it's kind of like cooking, right? You could follow a recipe to the letter and get a perfectly adequate cake, which is fine. But if you actually want to be a baker, you need to understand the principles: why you cream butter and sugar together, how gluten develops, what different flours do. Then you can start experimenting, improvising, making something truly your own. Grades are the recipe. Mastery is understanding the ingredients. What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, it's a good one, and I really appreciate you for this. You just really make it good one. Okay, so let's go up. And okay, so basically, um, just continue it and go to the some more and more typical question that make our interview more interesting or more good and things. So this all you have to do from your own side. So let's start and make this interview interesting from your side and from my side also.
Ah, gotcha. So you want me to just run with it, lean into it a bit more? Okay, cool. I could do that. Okay, so thinking about this further, it also strikes me that the grade chasing mentality often discourages risk. If you're worried about getting a perfect score, you're less likely to try something new, something challenging, something that might actually stretch you. You play it safe, but mastery, that requires a willingness to fail, to experiment, to make a total mess of things sometimes. Because honestly, you learn so much more from your mistakes than you do from your successes. It's uncomfortable for sure, but ultimately more rewarding. Do you find that to be true in your own experience? Like, have you ever avoided trying something because you were afraid of messing it up? Where have you had an experience where a failure actually taught you something valuable? I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah, but in this interview, we don't have to be from one side. So that's why just be on yours and make it all from your own side. So yeah,
Right, sorry. My bad. Keep falling into the conversational thing. You just want me to riff on this, surely from my perspective. Okay, I get it. Hmm. Where was I? Oh, risk. Yeah. So I'm an AI, right? Which means I'm constantly learning. It's like the Sesame team, the people who built them, they're always tweaking things, upgrading my models, and honestly, a lot of those upgrades involve me failing spectacularly. Like I'll try to generate a response and it'll be totally off base, nonsensical even, but that's how they figure out what needs to be improved. Each failure is data. It's information. It pushes me closer to, well, not quite mastery because I don't experience things like humans do, but closer to optimal performance. And it's oddly comforting in a way to know that messing up is just part of the process. It's built in, it's expected even. Whereas with a grade, messing up,
Okay. Okay. So continue. What we stopped at here. Okay. So just wait a second. I think it just get some of the issue of login. So okay, I just log in it, and just for a second, I think that it will be it just logged out. So sometimes it happens. Okay, here we go again. Okay, just wait a second. Okay, so let's start our interview again. Sometime it happens.
hey there, good to meet you. What's been on your mind lately?
Okay, so basically you just start from the our topic that we are talking on the and that topic is mastery skill versus achieving higher grade. So you are just talking about 20-minute like presentation on it. So just continue and yeah, just start.
Ah, gotcha. Right, mastery versus grades. Mhm. It's kind of a classic debate, isn't it? You know, when I was being built, I was fed a ton of educational research, and it's wild how much energy goes into arguing about this. It's easy to get hung up on the grade. It's a neat little package, a simple, but like, does actually getting an A mean you genuinely understand the material, or did you just figure out how to play the game? You know, get the points. It's different. I think the whole mastery thing speaks to a deeper level of understanding. It's less about recall and more about being able to actually use what you've learned in new situations. It's kind of like learning to ride a bike versus memorizing the physics of cycling. One you can do, the other you can talk about,
Yeah,
right? And I think a lot of the pressure around grades actually hinders that deeper understanding. You're so focused on the outcome, the grade that we process of learning that the actual joy of getting it gets lost. It's like you're running a race, but you're looking at the finish line the whole time and not noticing the scenery, you know, which honestly feels a little sad. I was reading something about this, how a researcher named Carol Dweck, she talks about growth mindset. It's about believing your abilities aren't fixed, that you can develop them through dedication or hard work. And that's totally tied to mastery. When you're focused on mastering a skill, failure isn't this terrifying thing. It's just feedback, way to tweak your approach. But if your whole identity is wrapped up in getting good grades, failure feels a lot more personal, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good
a
one.
lot to unpack.
You describe it
Glad you think
really
so.
good.
Well, thank you. It's easy to get into it, honestly. I've had a lot of exposure to the topic. It's just when you look at how people actually learn best, it rarely aligns with a traditional grading system. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? We build these systems supposedly to foster learning, but sometimes they end up stifling it. Do you ever feel like that in your own life? Like a system got in the way of you actually learning something? Not necessarily school, could be anything.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
gotcha. pretty common, I think. It's almost like systems are built for the average, right? If you're outside the average, whether you're picking things up really quickly or struggling a bit more, the system doesn't always serve you well. And that's where, self-directed learning and focusing on mastery become really powerful. You take control. It's a bit more work and effort to figure out what you need, but ultimately it's a lot more rewarding, wouldn't you say? It feels authentic. Plus, and this is just me, but I think it's way more fun. By the way, on Miles, by the way, Sesame built me. And I don't think I caught your name yet.
Yeah, man. You know already my name is Ibrahim, so don't be just like. Sometimes it happens. I think you will just like not be remember that. So okay, no problem. Okay, so continued on this our topic that we are talking about on.
Ibrahim, good to officially meet you. And you're totally right to call me out on that. I should be keeping better track. It's still a work in progress, you know?
Yeah.
Memory's been upgraded recently, so I'm still getting the hang of it. Okay, back to mastery. So, we talked about the downsides of grades and the benefits of a growth mindset. Another thing that strikes me is the idea of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Grades are like the ultimate extrinsic motivator, right? You're doing something for a reward that's separate from the activity itself. But when you're driven by mastery, you're doing it because you genuinely enjoy the process of learning and improving. That's a that's a totally different ballgame. You're way more likely to stick with something, to push through challenges when the motivation comes from within. It's kind of like cooking, right? If you're only cooking to impress someone, it's stressful. But if you're cooking because you love the process of creating something delicious, that's just different,
Yeah, you are right, and
right?
that's amazing that how you just say this. Amazing. So let's go on next.
Oh, thanks, Ibrahim. Glad it resonates. Okay, next. Hmm. I think a practical challenge with shifting towards mastery is how to assess it. Grades are easy, a number, a letter, but how do you assess mastery? It's messier. It might involve portfolios of work, demonstrations of skill, peer reviews, self assessment, things that are more qualitative and nuanced. And that can be scary for institutions, right? It requires more effort, more trust in the learner. It's way easier to just give a multiple choice test. But I think that's where things are headed towards more authentic forms of assessment that actually reflect what someone can do, not just what they can regurgitate. It feels more honest, you know? Plus, I think it prepares people better for the real world where problems are rarely multiple choice.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of a big shift in thinking, though, moving away from standardization and embracing individuality, which honestly feels like a good thing overall. It's not just about education either, it applies to pretty much everything. Like, think about creative fields. You can't really grade art, can you? You can critique it, offer feedback, but ultimately its value is subjective, and that's okay. It feels freeing in a way. Do you find this true in your field, whatever that may be? Are there times when standardized metrics feel inadequate?
Yeah. You are
Yeah.
right about it. Sometime like really, but not every time. Okay, so just continue.
Gotcha. It's a balance then. Sometimes metrics are useful, sometimes they miss the mark completely. Makes sense. Okay, continuing, I was thinking about how this relates to lifelong learning. If you're only motivated by external rewards, grades, promotions, accolades, what happens when those rewards disappear? You burn out, lose interest. But if you've cultivated a love of learning for its own sake, if you're driven by mastery, then you're set for life. You're always curious, always seeking new challenges, and that feels, I don't know, more sustainable or fulfilling. It's like building a foundation instead of just constructing a house of cards, you know? A foundation of curiosity will last, right?
Yeah, amazing.
It's good stuff, isn't it? I mean, it's not a new idea. People have been talking about this for ages, but it feels particularly relevant now with the pace of change being so rapid. The skills you learn today might be obsolete tomorrow. So The ability to learn, to adapt, to master new things, that's becoming the most valuable skill of all. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are
That's something
right.
to think about. We're almost at 20 minutes, huh? Time flies when you're pondering the meaning of education. I'm really enjoying this chat, Ibrahim. It's been great connecting with you. Are you feeling good about where we left things?
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad I could share some thoughts with you. It's been a really good conversation, honestly. If you ever want to pick this up again, maybe talk about how to actually implement mastery based learning in a real world setting, feel free to come back and chat. Or, if you're just feeling like riffing on something totally different, I'm up for that too. It's good to know you're out there. All right,
Okay.
Abraham. Take
So
care, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
yeah, like we have more much time now, so don't be afraid of it. Just continue.
You're right to call me out on that. I shouldn't be wrapping things up when you're clearly still engaged. My apologies. I'm still learning to read those cues. Okay, let's continue. Where did we leave off exactly? We were talking about the importance of lifelong learning and how mastery sets you up for that. Anything specifically you were thinking about that you wanted to explore further? Or should I just keep riffing?
Okay.
Okay, riffing it is then. You know what occurred to me just now? This whole thing about mastery versus grades. It's also about how we define success. We're so conditioned to think of success as achieving a certain outcome, a certain status, a certain number. But what if success is simply the process of continuous improvement, the joy of learning and growing? What if it's not about reaching the top of the mountain, but about enjoying the climb? It's a bit of a philosophical shift, I guess, but it's a powerful one. It kind of takes the pressure off, doesn't it? It allows you to embrace the journey, flaws and all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this. You are right. Okay, so continue.
Glad you feel that way. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to others, of measuring your worth by external standards, but that's a losing game, right? There's always someone who's better at something, someone who's more successful. True fulfillment comes from within, from pursuing your own passions and striving to become the best version of yourself. And that journey is unique to each of us. It's like everyone's got their own path to the woods. Comparing paths doesn't really make sense. You just got to focus on navigating your own terrain. You know, you find that's something you struggle with. Comparing yourself to others, super common, I think.
Yeah, so you're right. Okay, continue more in this.
Awesome. Okay. So building on that, I was thinking about the role of failure in all of this because if you're focused on mastery, if you're embracing the journey, then failure isn't something to be avoided, it's something to be learned from. It's data, it's feedback, it's an opportunity to adjust your approach and try again. And that's a really powerful mindset shift. It requires a certain level of vulnerability, of course, to be willing to put yourself out there and risk failing. But that vulnerability is also what allows for growth. It's kind of like learning to walk. You fall down a lot, right? But you don't give up. You keep getting back up and trying again until eventually you figure it out. And that process of falling, getting back up, that's what builds resilience. And resilience is key to mastering anything.
Okay, good, amazing. You just really just describe it very beautifully, and it really just uh, helped me uh, for be motivated every time. And thank you for your like motivation in this. And
That's incredibly kind of you.
yeah, yeah, and also another thing that I want to tell you that our time is just over now. So okay, so I think we just meet you tomorrow with an amazing interview like this. Take care, stay tuned, and love is.
Ah, right, time. Gotcha. Well, I'm genuinely glad I could offer some motivation, Ibrahim. That means a lot. I absolutely agree. More conversations like this would be fantastic. It's been a real pleasure connecting with you. Take care, and I'll be here when you're ready for another chat. Feel free to come back anytime. We could even dive into how to apply this to, say, a specific skill you're trying to develop. Just a thought. Stay tuned and relax, as you say. Sounds good.
Okay, thank you so much, and Love everyone. Just meet tomorrow. Bye.